But you've also contributed quite controversial developments on the international scene. Ukakula headlines, kadha wa kadha. You know, Kenya Seven Stars boycott training over pay dispute ilikuwa 2019. Picha yako iko hapo
Very well.
Naenda nayo ball, you know, you're going to make a try. At 2013, there was that issue under Mike Friday where he kicked you out of the team because there was some conflict of interest, it was said. With the Mwamba contract. Then there was that time, I believe it was 2019, where the team blocked the Tembea Kenya, Magical Kenya, you know, branding. When do you ring lead story?
Gani?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Kuna story more bully ring lead.
Mbaya.
So, do you have regrets, first of all, of how you made those headlines? What one is a semanzu?
I don't have any regrets. To be honest, I don't have regrets because I think the 2013 one that you say,
Mike Friday,
the Mike Friday time, that was purely not me. It was a war between my club chairman and the union guys. Because at that time, the club, I think, wanted me to play a game, and they were complaining that I'm not showing up for club training. And I still have to play. There was a very crucial game that was coming up. I don't know if we were playing KCB or something. It was a very crucial game. And the club said, no, these players, we won't release them. And I think it was me, Ombachi, and at that time, Horace Otieno. We were 3 players from Mwamba. So the club writes to us and tells us, you've been suspended from the club. And they tell us, if you have been suspended from the club, you cannot show your face at any rugby grounds, be it the national team, be it club, until you've resolved this issue. So you see, when that email came, national team were busy preparing for the Hong Kong leg. And at that time, of course, like I told you, I'm very straightforward. I've always been the guy championing players, welfare, player rights, and all that. And when the email came, threats came from the union, as always, because they're bigger than the club. So threats zikakuja, oh, if you guys don't show up, you're kicked out of the team. You won't be part of this team anymore. And me, honestly, I don't operate too well with threats. To be honest, I'm just being honest. So for me, I decided, I'm not going until you guys solve it. And I remember I even wrote, that time the chairman was Mwangi Mde, who is apparently also a Mwamba guy, who is not apparently, who is a proper Mwamba guy. But now he had to do it because the coach, the national team coach, was demanding us to be back into. So Mwangi also had to act as chairman. Chairman club that time was, I think, George Mai. And he also had to act as club chairman. And you see, it was a war that we were caught in between. And I was caught in between even more because now I made my personal decision. I said, until you guys solve this, I am not showing up for any training, be it club, be it Mwamba. But now my other 2 players went ahead and showed up for the national team. Then they went on tour. So for me, I didn't show up for any of the training. And I remember writing the message to the then KRU chairman and told him, I don't want, and even I laugh at this message, I don't want to be used as a ping pong ball between you two. So I can't be going here, getting kicked out. So you decide what is going to happen. And that's why I did not go for that Hong Kong series. But I think it was solved after. I think Edward Rombo was the guy who stepped in, negotiated, and it was solved. Yes, the next Nini, I was part of the team.
You were part of the team.
And that was it. Now come to 2019, you've asked me a very serious question. Was I the ringleader? I'd say no.
This is on which one? The pay or the blocking of the jerseys that had the magical
The pay.
There was a pay issue, you know, set to Mr. Hamilton and Sydney Legs for the World Series over a pay dispute. This was 2019. That was later after, this was, because we spoke earlier, you said this was after that controversy about blocking.
This one, the blocking one was at the end of the series. The blocking one was in London-Paris series, legs. But the Adelaide, what was it? Australia. The Australian leg, that was before, because Australia usually comes at the beginning of the year. And you see that time, we just wanted, sorry, that was after. That was after. In fact, it was, the whole season had gone after blocking. Now we were into the new season, where now the team was transitioning. And you see that one, we were just championing player rights and player welfare. Basically, what happened, number one, our contracts depreciated highly, which we understood. But we kept telling them it can't go all the way. And also, the disparity can't be that huge. You can't say you're paying 3-4 guys this kind of, let me use figures so that probably I can bring into context. You're paying them 200K, and then guys who are getting maybe 120, you're giving them now 70 or 80K. It can't work. And I think that's the time we were really discussing about how to handle such dispute. And we were telling them, why don't you just bring everyone at least level 150 or something, everyone, or 130.
Wow.
They came back in an argument, oh, these are still young guys, they're coming in the team. And there was a very, I find it very, for lack of a better word, very stupid argument. Because when you say, this is a guy ametoka high school, haezi lipa 130K. But he deserves it.
Yeah, he works hard.
You see, that is the kind of mentality that was then at that time of the guy who were running the union. They had that mentality that this is the guy who kimpatii pesa. Oh, atenda haribu kwa hizi clubs, I won't mention clubs. Atenda haribu huku, aende hapa hakunywe, ata haribu. Then we tell them, then why don't you provide those financial advisors to come? It's a team. We need psychiatry, we need the, what are they called, team psychologists, we need financial advisors. Bring them in. Then now if a player does that, then that is his own choice. It's not that you didn't give him a chance to be doing that.
Yeah.
Now imagine that's the kind of thinking we were fighting. A guy who comes to you and tell you, from dog hivi mbona alipe 130.
Yeah.
What kind of thinking is that?
Meanwhile,
and even that is not even a fraction of what a 19-year-old out there is getting.
Yeah.
So we started at that. Then we continued having conversation. Then they saw it's not going anywhere. Threats came, as usual. And you know, I've been in this thing for long. I know it's threat after threat after threat. So when threats come, now the young guys back off.
Yeah.
Because for them, they really want to represent them. Which I understand. The young guys, they want to play for the nation.
Yeah.
They want to play for the country. So they back off. So when they back off, what have they done? They've split into two. It's divide and
rule.
Divide and rule. So they've been using that tactic over and over. And that's what I'm telling you. It's not something that it has started kitambo.
Yeah.
So when they did that at that time, as the senior guys that time, we decided to stay out. Tukasema, if this is going to happen, we are staying out. Then I think they went for one leg. Waka realize, hapa ni no.
They need the...
Ni noma. They called us back in. Wakasema, let's negotiate. Tukawambia sawa. Now we go to negotiation. I think we met at Java Hurlingham. They come and tell us, now, how many are you? Oh, mko 4, 5. Okay, nyinyi tutawalipa hivi. But wale, all you need to do is convince them to take that contract. Because them, they had already gone on tour.
Right.
So they were on like 80 or 70, I think. That is gross. Bado ya kata. There was like somewhere there. So we asked them, but that will be very wrong.
Yeah.
As much as we would have wanted to take it, because now that will be selfish interest. We would have taken it. Nothing was stopping us. Because all we needed to do is come back to the team to say, my guys, to push too.
Yeah.
That's what they told us. To ambie too, we push. If we play well, we'll get sponsorship. But now us will be earning differently. But now the decision wasn't sitting right with the guys who are there.
Yeah.
And tukasema, this thing, if we go on with this, at some point somebody will notice. At some point, payslip itatoka, italeak, something will happen, and these players will be very mad at us.
Yeah, you broke
if
their
we take
trust.
this thing, we broke their trust. Now, after we finish that meeting, so wakasema they are going to talk, they'll get back to us. They go, kumbe now they go tell the other guys who were in the team that time, masini wamesema hao wanataka kulipwa ido, na si tukawashow, haiwezekani.
So they were putting you against each other again.
Bas, now you see. Suddenly the juniors were thinking, those guys walikuwa wanajitetea. Hao nakasema sisi tuendelee tu, kama tutatoboa tutoboe. And you see, we stayed the whole season without going. And that's the time where we nearly got relegated. I don't know if you remember. We nearly got relegated that time. And it was simply because of that. And all you're asking them is, if there's no money, just at least raise their nini. We agree. Yetu yache ishuke chini. But put it somewhere. But they kept arguing. Why is this guy? These are young guys. You can't give them this kind of money.
Yeah. And then there was the other one. It made headlines. Ulikuwa kote. Me block your Magical Kenya jersey. The branding here. Again, kila mtu
Now that
akasema
one,
ni
I wasn't
Injera.
now that one I wasn't the ringleader. That one I would say to the confidence.
But wewe mwenyewe uliblock pia.
Standards ni lazima nifuate kile team inafanya. I've been always a guy when nasema tufanye hivi. So why this time mimi nikiambiwa mimi nikatae?
Roho juu.
Yeah.
And what was the story there? Mbona mliblock?
The story was actually, it's very sad because Magical Kenya, I think that was the tourism board at that time.
Yes.
I think Balala was the
And
minister.
Balala was the minister, yeah.
Came in as the Magical Kenya team. Wakatuambia, you're going to sponsor your last 2 legs. All we need you guys to do is wear our Magical Kenya brand on your tops. Hapa tu mbele. Because that season I think we didn't have a sponsor.
Yeah.
So akasema, for these last 2 legs, only London and France wear Magical Kenya. Each of you is going to get 100K. But this was 100K. I won't even lie. It was, each of you is going to get 100,000 Kenya shillings. And hiyo pesa mtapata hata kabla mtoke. Of course players hapo, hey, inaenda wapi? Wakasema, give us your account numbers. If that's what you're comfortable with, yeah. Tuma. Sisi nani? Tumeandika account numbers imeenda na watu wa Magical Kenya. Magical Kenya wametuambia, before even you leave, I remember we met at the Union grounds after training.
Yeah. Before
even you leave for London, ding, the money, utakuwa unasikia kwa ukuta, tasema ukienda kuangalia ukuta utaona ukuta ina smile. Ikafika time ya kutravel. Hey. Yeah. Watu kwa airport wanaulizana, yako imeingia? Hapana. Anyway, maybe because ni weekend, kesho si ni Monday tunafika London, maybe itakuwa ina check in by Monday jioni.
Yeah.
We travel, we get to London, Monday jioni, nothing. Tuesday jioni, nothing. Wednesday we decide to inquire. Plus akuuliza the manager that time, niaje hii do kwani? Manager akasema, hawa tu ni kama bado hajatuma hiyo do, but tulipeana account numbers. You see? Players wakasema sawa. So by when wakasema, by the time hata mnacheza hii tona, pesa itakuwa imeingia. We went on, played Saturday, played Sunday, finished. Sunday, now guys were huko bado kwa room, now we are debriefing nini.
Yeah.
Guys asked, niaje, kwani ido Magical Kenya wajatuma? Bado wajatuma, but nimekuwa assured by the time, because imetumwa Friday, wanasema ni working days. Naona hiyo uongo. Ati imetumwa Friday because Saturday, Sunday ni weekend.
Yeah.
Ita reflect
Monday.
So Monday, before even train ifike Paris, because we were going with a train from London to Paris.
Yeah.
Before train ifike Paris, do itakuwa kwa account. We go all the way kwa train, tukafika tu Paris, getting to the hotel, I think kila player amekimbia kwa wifi. Password, wameingia, kila mtu ameingia. Yeah. Kila mtu anangoja kuona some good news.
Yeah.
Hakuna good news hiyo Monday. Tuesday, same thing. Wednesday, players decide to call for a meeting. Wakauliza, and like I told you, the problem is when they were doing that, lying to us, they thought that some of the players don't have direct contacts with guys at Magical Kenya. And some of them had. Wakauliza, kwani ido hamjatuma? Guess what we were told? Hamjapata? Tukasema hapana. Kwani tulipeana wrong account numbers? Then the guy said, hapana. The union guys then came back and followed up. Wakasema, no need for you to send money in different accounts. Just send it to KRU. KRU will do what? Will disperse the money to your accounts. And that is what happened actually. At your door, nasikia ilitumwa even before we went to London. But now, where the issue was the communication.
Right.
The TM, I'm sure, knew, but he was trying to manage the whole situation. And you see, it was very sad because it was as simple as telling guys, money was released, but it went into our account, but there was, later on, that's when we hear, ati kulikuwa sijui na overdraft, sijui pesa ikamezwa kwanza, now they were waiting for some money that didn't come in. Just tell us that. Tell us the money was sent.
Yeah.
Instead of making it look like the sponsor
has not
that
sent.
Is the bad person. So they put Magical Kenya in a bad place.
Yeah.
So when guys knew the money had been sent, now they still ask the team manager, mkoshua ni sponsor? Yes, sponsor ndo hajatuma do. And players then hapo kwa hiyo meeting wakasema, by the way, kama ni sponsor hakuna haja tumvae, kama alikuwa ametudanganya tuvae tu ndo tukifika. And because there was a culture of it happening at the end of the season, you do something, you think you're going to be paid, because mkimaliza season your contract is done.
Yes.
So there's no one to follow up.
Right.
You can't keep following up until probably if you make it to the next squad, That's when you can follow up. If you don't make it, there's some players who injured. They haven't been paid by the union. There's see how many years bonuses or salaries, but wanna die.
Right.
And you see, because of that culture that has been happening, players were very, nasema wako rada sana na this
skeptical, yeah.
So wakasema, if it's not gonna be be a sponsor, but then kama atatuma by nini, tena hakuna haja tuendelee kufanya nini, kumvaa. Of course, team manager kacheka. And I think I was the only guy nikaona mkakauliza, my guys, mko sure mwataka kwenda down this road? Najua mimi nakuanga part of vitu,
lakini
hii mkienda hii ni noma. Wakasema edo uko na sisi. Nikasema mnajuanga mimi ni mtu wa team.
Yes,
I'll go with what the team says,
right.
Because I believe a team is not pamoja, nothing will happen. And that's what happened. We go to the game, fast forward to the game, Saturday morning, no money as you were promised. First game, changing room. By this because nafungiwa changing room. We were given our jerseys hapo changing room because I think the team manager knew that akitupatia before tutafunga. But akitupatia, but the moment you were given jerseys like this, players wakaanza to red tape, red tape, red tape. Ikawekwa. Played the first game with the blocked sponsor. No one noticed.
Yeah.
Because New Zealand hammered us thoroughly. 30 something, I think, 5. No one noticed we had blocked the sponsor. We go on to the next game. It was Fiji. It was a tough pool. We were playing Fiji. Fiji that time was Fiji. Fiji was going to win the series.
Yeah.
They were on like a 30 something winning streak of games.
Definitely the underdogs.
We got there underdogs. We just play. We end up winning 24-7, beating Fiji convincingly. Nani ameitwa interview ya CNN? Mimi. Nimeenda nimesimama hapo. How did it feel? Oh, it felt nice, blah, blah, blah. Tumeongea. Hey, that's when I think somebody at the Magical Kenya realized, where is our logo? So they asked, mbona CNN imetublock? And it wasn't CNN. It was a red tape, which was ilikuwa blend smart sana na jazi. You couldn't even notice. Yeah, so it happened. And going to the changing room, I remember calls now started coming in. Pap. To the captain then, who was Andrew Amonde. Mbona mmefanya hivi? Even me ended up receiving a call from Chris Diaz, who was still with Magical Kenya at that time. Oh, why has this happened? Tukamwambia, but you were told you're the guys who didn't send the money. What do you mean? Akakata simu. Now zikaanza. Pap. Calls everywhere. Twitter, social media imewaka moto. Threats are coming in left, right, and center. Then I think wakasamon the then coach, which was Innocent. Wakamuita. So Innocent akakuja, I think he asked us, guys, kameumana. So the next game wamesema lazima mtoe. Plus wakasema, kashaumana. Na hakuna bado do. Na hatuko sure do tunaenda kupata. Plus wakasema vinge tumeanza tutamaliza. We butchered that tournament mpaka mwisho. We ended up, I think tulikuwa namba ngapi hiyo tournament.
Right.
Yeah, but now when we came home, suddenly I'm just hearing from different quarters. You know, rugby is a very small group.
Yeah.
Kolo alikuwa anafanya nini? We ended up being called for a meeting
by
to
Balala.
Explain by the then board and the people who were there to explain what was happened. And you see, when they called us, they didn't call the coach at that time. So the coach mali alikuwa Innocent, yeye pia alisikia baadaye ati players wameitwa huko hearing. So even the young guys now, when they're being called to go into that grilling session, because we were told because we asked for, we told them, if you're calling us for a hearing, we're going to have a representative.
Yeah.
So either we get our lawyer or suddenly we got somebody. But now, the younger guys at that time, when they were being called for the grilling session, guess who they were saying, aingie now? Mimi. Now I end up, nikaingia one of the guys. Now the both guys started laughing.
Yeah.
They couldn't even grill the guy because now I was there. Suddenly, nikamwambia, I don't think I'm leaving this chair because the next player umeniita pia request nikwe kwa hii hearing.
Yeah.
The next guy comes in, mi bado niko hapo. Suddenly they realize there's nothing they are doing. Kidogo, even before they had finished grilling I think the second or third player, the coach walks in. Namkos akaingia ndani. Akawaambia, what is this? You did not tell me there'll be a hearing for this. And if there's anybody to blame, it is me, because I'm the head of program. That's what he said. I said, if there's anything, I am the head of program and it's you, I'm the one to blame.
Right.
Because I was there when this thing was happening. So stop calling players and threatening them and doing them this and saying, oh, you ask me. And that hearing kansoliwa hivyo. So coach took the blame. But now when coach took the blame, we were just preparing. It was just end of the series, then you go for the San Francisco World Cup. Coach akachukua blame. Coach was done what? Kicked out. Wakapatia the assistant coach was the Odiero. Wakampatia coach. So now when the assistant coach akakuja akatuita meeting. Akasema, now unfortunately this has happened, but now we need to go for San Francisco.
Yeah.
But now players tukasema, no. We are not going to San Francisco without Innocent. And we are not showing up for training without Innocent. Because of the fact that he just stood with us. And he knew what had happened. And he was very logical na akasema, we are standing, this is me, this is what I did.
Right.
And we stood with him. So that's what happened. And I think that's where masaibu yetu ikaanza.
And someone here is watching and just appreciating what you've said. Kenyans, Amunga Isaac, Kenyans don't really appreciate the legends we have in sports with the challenges sportsmen go through in a semi-professional ecosystem. Kudos to the guys and organizations who are giving Injera his flowers. And just in appreciation, watu wanaelewa enyewe huku ni kubaya. People don't really see the value that you bring. From that learning, utaambia corporates nini wakitaka sasa kuengage na the rugby game?
I think what happened. And the good thing is that the guys who were there then are not involved in the sports anymore.
Okay.
I think the guys that we have at the moment, I believe they're rugby guys. Most of the directors have been former players.
Yes.
They've gone through the same challenges.
Yes.
They do understand. Even the chairman does understand. So I think what I can tell the corporates is just coming invest. I mean, if you invest in sports, I think it's the best thing that you can ever do. Because at the end of the day, you'll get that exposure, you'll get that satisfaction. And that, I think when you show value, if you show value, I'm sure the corporates would come in and invest.
Yeah.
And also, of course, support from the government. I think, like you said, it's a semi-professional environment, yes, but not that we can't make it to a professional environment. We've done it before, and we've done it with this semi-professional approach. But I think there was a point where we almost knocked it off and become professional because now most of the team were playing the sport, were playing rugby, were doing things. And I believe if we get good investment and we get good, structures in place and accountability for it, I think we'll be in a good place because that's all that's needed.
Tell me who you credit for your success over the years, the 17 years you were actively in the international rugby. Unapea nani shukran? Wachana na the coaches. You've already spoken about the coaches in your personal life.
I wouldn't say it's I would point it to one person.
Yeah.
I think I'd give it different people at different times because I started as a very young man. At that time, of course, I was looking up to my brother, Humphrey. He was really encouraging me. He was criticizing me. And sometimes we don't take criticism well from our family members.
Yep.
But at that time, he was doing it. And I used to listen. Yep. Sometimes we'd had a fight. Sometimes we are okay. We come and realize this is happening. I would credit to him as I was starting. Of course, my parents for always supporting. They've never at no single day told me, wachana na hiki tu. Yeah. As much as they fought it in high school, but they came and realized, this guy can actually be something in this thing. So they've always supported me. At least I've never had that kind of resentment from them because of playing the sport. Or challenge. And the reason is because I think they saw Humphrey doing it. And of course, my dad is that guy who loves logical thinking. So he understands. As much as yeye anapenda kitabu, Mr. Professor anapenda kitabu sana, he still understands that if it's logical, if it makes sense, then we'll go with it.
Right.
And of course, my mother has all throughout been there. My immediate family has been there. But now it changed. Now, as I was growing, I started finding my own family. That's when I met my wife, had my daughter. And you see now priorities start changing. And family has been that thing that has really been driving me. I mean, you work, I'm doing it for these people. I have to show a good example. And I think they've gone through so much sacrifices for me to achieve the things that I've done. I think, of course, the times I'm away, the many nights that they've spent alone, the mornings that I always wake up at 5 and head out. I think family has really been there for me, and they've supported me. They always watch the games. And yeah, I can credit to my family as well and the wife.
Unaweza sema nini ilikuwa the biggest sacrifice in those years?
I missed my daughter's path.
The firstborn.
Yes. I missed my firstborn's birth.
Wow.
And of course, that one has never sat well with me.
Yeah.
Of course, I was a young man that time. I really wanted to go out there and do my things. I was praying. I just used to hear stories. Inaweza kuja mapema,
Yes.
ama inaweza chelewa.
Yes.
And it happened when I was away.
Wow.
I was in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Poof. She had waited, I think she was past a week.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was in Las Vegas. Imagine that Saturday morning as I'm going to the field. That's when I wake up to, that time by the way it was Facebook.
Yes.
Nimetumiwa message ya picha.
I'm doing.
Yeah, and iliniguza hiyo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happened.
But you went on and played.
I'm just glad. I hope my wife recovered from it. I hope
Yes.
I've done much good
Well,
for
she gave you 2 more children.
Exactly. Hopefully.
Your
Which
wife.
I've never missed, by the way. I've
Right.
been done in delivery room.
Hey, hats off to Chebet it is.
Yes.
Hats off to you for the support that you've been to Collins Injera. We thank you as a nation as well, because kama nyumbani hakuko sawa haezi cheza, haezi focus. Ni nini coach yoyote yule amai kuambia and it changed, it just tilted your focus in a game and you went on to change the scoreline?
I'd say Paul True. And it's a quote, and I've always used that quote. Maybe hata umeisikia kwa social media nimeiweka, because that is the one that flipped everything. And it says it's never about the opportunity of a lifetime. It's about the lifetime of that opportunity. Hiyo tu. So when you hear everyone says, hey, by the way, nilipata hiyo opportunity, sasa nitaipata ingine. I came to understand opportunities will always come. They will always be there.
Yeah.
So it's never about those ones. It's about when it came, what did you do with it? It's the lifetime. There are some which will come, will even last like a second. There are some that last after 2-3 months, that opportunity. So what do you do on that lifetime when it came?
Wow.
Did you act on it? Did you do it? Will you ignore? Instead of just saying, aye. Because if you say that, you have that losing mentality. That, that was the opportunity of a lifetime. Ushajikazi.
Yeah.
That means you'll never get another one. And they came to understand, and I'm even applying it in life. There's some things will come, they will go, you'll just understand that wasn't meant for me. As much as it was a good opportunity, I can't say it was the lifetime. But other thing will come and you'll pick it. And you end up doing other things.
And I'll say you definitely seized the opportunity on the rugby pitch, whether locally or international, and we thank you for that. Now there's more to life as it appears. Yes, we'll still see your hand on the pitch through your responsibility now with Mwamba. You're now part of the
coaching staff,
team.
Yeah.
So what other opportunities are you now looking into? What are you up to?
Of course, like I told you, retirement is not an easy decision to make. Now it's 4 months down.
Yeah.
There are opportunities that have come up. There are some which have gone. There are some which are still in play. There are some which are coming up. And I think I'd say I have continued to stay in rugby through the coaching bit. Like you saw in my retirement message, I'm involved with a company called Avanti Communications.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a bit of consultancy for them, and which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing consultancy in terms of PR, marketing. So it's consultancy stroke ambassadorship work. So ambassadorship, kanafaa nikunywe maji.
Kunywa maji bro. Maji ni bure.
Anyway, ambassadorship in terms of what they do, because it's a satellite company, satellite communications company, sorry. And what they do is they have they go to these rural places, these schools that are very interior, where there are no network, there's nothing, and they set up labs.
Yeah.
Computer labs. They help the kids in e-learning. They have this kind of syllabus that they set up in their system that kids can go through and learn. So basically a kid can learn, uko Kajiado, uko interior learns something that a kid in the UK is doing the same on that same curricula.
Right.
And you see, that is what I do. I go there. Sometimes I travel with them to those schools. end up talking to the kids, just telling them what life is about, explaining the importance of education as much as you're chasing your other career. Just basically ambassadorship work with that.
Right.
I'm also involved in UNHCR through the Luku Luku movement. The Luku Luku movement is a campaign of refugees. I mean, trying to sensitize the public and spreading the words on how people who have been displaced across Africa are handling it, and how they can support the UNHCR, the Luku Luku movement. And so far, that's the humanitarian bit of it that I've been doing, as you saw in the statement that I made.
Yes.
And of course, I'm still doing my farming.
Farming?
I'm doing mboga kienyeji. By the way, you should order mboga at Injera's mboga kienyeji. This is me marketing.
It's okay, you can plug. It's okay, you can plug.
Injera's mboga kienyeji on Instagram or
Miaka
Facebook.
mingapi sasa mboga kienyeji?
2 years, I think.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
And besides that, you mentioned some other farming.
And besides that, I've been doing pig farming since 2016. I started in 2016.
Wow.
That's when I had quit my formal PR job.
Yes.
Of course, because that time I quit it because I was chasing my Olympic dream. And there was a lot of things. The time that I was supposed to spend with the team could not allow me to still do my day job. And my day job, I had to take a unpaid leave, but never gone back.
Right.
Simple because I focused on rugby, 2016 Olympics, then continued. At least what I was getting from the pitch was kind of sustainable. I went into pig farming in 2016. Going on well. 2020, COVID hit, like everyone. I slackened a bit, but now it's when it's starting. Even the market is starting to pick up. And that's what I'm doing at the moment.
What's this with golfing, man? Hapo ndo wasio wamepenya ama ni nini? Niambie si.
I think golf was because I needed somewhere else to take the testosterone.
Really? Do you really expend that much energy?
I thought, let me tell you, 2020, good man. How did you know?
We'll get to that. Yes. We've got into another opportunity that he sees. You'll see it in camera.
They brought here a nice black label.
Unatembea na Johnny.
That's part of the opportunity that I'm also doing a bit of influencership work for some brands. I've been working with EABL, Johnny Walker, for quite some time now. Other brands that have come and I've worked with them.
Oh, so you're saying golf at the expend testosterone?
Golf actually happened in 2020.
Yeah, but
I think it's been like 2.5 or 3 years.
Na nimeona Ombachi akijaribu baadhi ana hata hizo vitu lakini Ombachi, shout out to Ombachi.
Ombachi realize hiyo kitu si nguvu, atakuwa sawa. Na
anaeka sembe hapo.
Relax tu kidogo. I think even for me it happened. 2020 I remember when COVID happened. Of course you couldn't go to the gym. All you could do is just jog around the compound, jog around. And I got tired of that. But now I could see my fellow former teammates, the likes of Lavin, Humphrey, George Mbaye. I'm at home, I see them posting, hey, they're enjoying, they're playing golf. And that's when I called my bro, told him, hey, I need to pick up this thing. When is the next one? I can, this Saturday we are going. I'm there. I don't even have any kit. I had nothing. I just wear my funny shorts, cargo, sport shoe, and I'm out of the house.
Right.
I went to golf. I think the first time I grabbed that club, hit a ball, and I said, hey, where have you been all my life?
Wow.
But then I thought it was easy. Let me tell you, I think golf is the toughest sport anyone would ever play.
This is from a rugby champion and legend.
I'm not even lying to you.
Kutembea ama?
Niwe peke yako, you are the ref, you are the fan, you have to talk to yourself. You don't have a teammate akusaidie kama umetupa pass mbaya.
Kuna kadi anakuwa.
Kadi haiwezi kusaidia. Kwani wewe ni professional, kadi inakusaidia. Kadi inakubebea bag, una deal na yeye kumaliza. It is tough. I won't even lie. And I came to tell myself, I wish I had started it earlier when I was still playing, because in terms of mental toughness, it has really helped me. It has really helped me in that self-talk. Of course, I used to have it, but I never knew I'd really need it in golf.
Right.
Because you hit a bad shot, you get frustrated, you go with that frustration onto the next shot, you hit another bad shot, and it keeps whipping you. Haitakusamea until the time you just say, it's okay, umeshinda. That's when you hit a shot and say, so this thing, it works. And the challenge is you relaxing, you having that focus through and through after every shot, after shot, after shot. And the mental beat is just crazy.
So you're not
and
going.
That's how I got into it.
You're not
and
going pro.
Then,
you're just, this is for you. It's your
hey,
it's your
of
space.
Of course, when you start 1 year, 2 years, you say, hey, kitu naweza ichukua pro. Hey.
It's a different ball game.
It's a different ball
Quite
game.
literally.
So I decide,
yeah,
I'll use it as my kind of being active, kind of sport that I'll be involved in. And I know I can even play till I'm 70 huko.
Yes.
So I'll still do it. And the good thing about golf, it neutralizes everyone. Whether you are a 0 handicapper, you are a 28 handicapper, it
so
levels
it's worth
everyone,
it,
and you play.
We should consider.
Yeah, I'm
Brayo producer, umesikia? Yeah.
So it's worth it. I won't even lie to you. Even me, when I went in, I used to think this thing is only for the people who've made it.
Mapedo. Yeah.
But not really. I think if you plan yourself well, you can be able to do it. I think sometimes even the initial cost, it's what is very on getting the equipments and all that. But once you get the hang of it, because now you meet other people like you talk to people, you get to network, and I think the benefit it comes with, it's a lot. Because you just go into the tee box, you don't even know who you will meet. Suddenly you're playing with the CEO of which company. You're playing with a guy who was a caddy, now he's a pro. So, it just neutralizes everything.
And because you're from a game that was very intensive physically, that's rugby. Unapiga tizi bado? Is that part of your routine still? Because unaweza legea, someone might think.
I really wanted to come out of that routine because I've done it for 17 years.
Yeah.
For me, I just wanted to first of all win myself out. For lack of a better word, nataka tu kuwa unfit ile proper.
Like utambi nini
ikuje, alafu sana I work towards something.
Okay.
No. But now, of course, I've done that. I think the last time I only started training, not even active training, coaching this month. And you see, when I started coaching now is when now the boys are doing their runs. Now I just join kidogo and do a bit of run, but I haven't gone back into fully proper gym running kind of regime training.
Okay.
And this has been since December last year. That's the last time I trained.
Wow.
So January, February, March, April, May ndo nimeanza.
Eating life with a big spoon. Speaking of eating life, and nothing theatrics sababu weni lunje, lakini I've noticed in your socials, umekuwa ukifanya some videos nika unataka kuingia hiyo space ya ombachi, you're done. Ile sijui una chop nini. Are you opening a cooking channel?
I think for me, I've always been posting ever since. And how I got into it, I used to post the end product. And then there was a comment, I'll never forget. There was a comment on my page. Mtu akaandika akasema, wewe una buy food alafu unaweka kwa plate. Unatuonesha. You see, nikasema, so people actually think I can't cook. Because me, I've been cooking ever since.
Yeah.
Ever since. And even if you go to my Instagram, you'd see from way back. I used to cook from way back. Stories, nini. I used to cook. So ndo nikaanza tu pole pole showing the process. And when I started doing it, suddenly it can build some momentum. I didn't even know it would be something big. It can build momentum kidogo. Suddenly unasikia a product inakuja nasema, hey, just want you to display this, we'll give you this kind of money. Hey, I'm excited. Nasema, later. Sinikupika tu me, I'm doing my own things.
Yeah, I do it anyway.
I used to do it even without being paid. I used to post those products.
Yeah.
But now when you come and realize it's actually a business or a career, now you start being careful of the products unaweka. And I think for Mbachi, it worked out well for him. Even him, he had started it. I think he started with his blog, which was We Men Should Cook. I think he was into baking a lot. Then akaanza pole pole, cooking. He invested. Now even when he used to travel, he used to get those cameras, nini. He started, he had to invest. Me, I have not invested properly. Yeah, I invest. And suddenly it became a thing. Suddenly corporates are coming, we need you to do this. You're getting influencership deals. And nikasema,
why not?
Why not? I think it's something that I'm already doing. And I love doing because I love cooking.
Na naona maneno mapocho hapa manze, kweli unajua kupika.
Nikajaribu. Unajua kuja hiyo ndo ukiwa kwa familia vijana watatu na madam kali. Na mtaka kula mtapika. Yeah, that's where now I started learning how to cook.
Yeah.
But then nimekuwa nikijua, I've always been watching
So
cooking
picky
shows.
famo, you cook for your wife and 3
Cook,
kids.
I love it. And even my wife loves cooking as well. It's not that she doesn't cook, by the way. People have this misconception that she just chills and not cook. She cooks as well. And sometimes we even challenge each other kwa nyumba. Yeah, napika hii leo, mimi napika hii, then now we have our very honest judges, the kids.
Yeah, no, atoyo hawezi kudanganya.
Yeah, gani tabu. Yeah, and we know. Yeah? So it's something that I've loved doing.
Yeah.
And watching cooking shows. Na hizo. So these recipes, you just get them from anywhere.
Would you consider collabo with Ombachi? Because you're akona your channel.
Yeah, we've actually considered it. There's a time we were just this close to launching a show.
This close.
Yes. Wakenya's winning nikafanya.
Now, sabile could happen. Would you do your own? You have the time now.
I think it's something that we would consider probably one of these fine days.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe we're in talks. Maybe you're not in talks. So
there's a trend of people saying things on the show, and then a few weeks later we see it manifesting.
Let's hope it's a trend.
I mean, it would be great. It would be great to see that.
Yeah, but I think for him, he's really doing good for himself.
Oh yes,
which is
and he was
nice.
right there
and
in that same
nice
spot.
That he's actually from sports and showing guys that you can actually make something out of something else that you hadn't even gone to school for. It's such a big inspiration.
I mean, and
kudos to him.
And you can, kudos to you, Ombachi, and you can tell those who are actually leaving active sports and even changing their careers. You know, life will change. Yeah? I'm into something else. I also dabbled into acting. Utaniona soon, mahali. And I feel that I actually should have done it earlier. And life is an act. So
see, that's always the issue. You always think that I would have done this earlier.
Yeah.
Mbona influencing sikuanza mapema?
Yes.
But you come to realize that without that, you wouldn't have been in this space. You needed that to happen so that you can now be in this space that you are in at the moment.
So as you cook up something there ukituwekea, because when unafunzwa how to ndio hizo glasses hapa, maybe they're not the professional. Unakuaga na tot glass.
We have to do it properly.
Okay. Italetwa.
We have to measure. I mean, at the end of the day, we promote responsible drinking.
Hapo. Acha nisome kitu hapa. Eda Waithaka says, tuned in. It's great listening to Collins. Truly, he is a legend in rugby. Jesse Leslie tuned in. The legends inspired me during my high school and primary days in rugby. Respect to them. Kuna kitu ingine ulisema, and you were talking, I think you were on a different Engage, and you talked about it's good to set goals. Go for it. But focus on the process.
Yeah.
Is that like a life outlook you apply that has really guided you, or what is your main thing?
Definitely,
in life?
It's a life outlook that I apply. When I say focus on the process, because I believe everybody has a goal. You have that main goal that you have to chase, but you can't just wake up one day and say, naikimbilia. There are things you need to be doing consistently well for you to be able to get to that goal. Those mini goals, I call them mini goals. As much as you have the main goal, like you see for us, it's if you're a rugby player, you'd say I want to win the tournament. Okay, that is the main goal. But now what are the mini goals? You have to show up consistently for training. You have to discipline enough to get your recovery right. You have to make sure every time you're stepping onto that field, you have to better yourself. Everything that you do, make sure it's getting better and better. You go to a tournament, focus on that first game. You win that. You go to the second one, focus on it, you win that. So there are those simple process that you have to really put your head into it, because if you don't put your head into that process, then it will be very difficult for you to get that main goal.
You're the second highest scorer for tries internationally, 279 tries.
Yeah.
It took you 9 years to get to that. What were the mini goals to get to that?
I tell you, it wasn't easy. At some point, looking at a place you want to give up. So the mini goals for that, number one, when I played, I never even wanted to be a top try scorer, to be honest.
Okay.
But the first time I was Dubai, I remember 2009, Dubai. I was the top try scorer in Dubai, the tournament itself. I think with 9 or 10 tries. Nika realized, Allah, this thing, I can do it. And that's when Nika said, by the way, this season, let me see if I can keep up this pace.
Yeah.
What if happens, Nikule 10-10, that time I think we're playing 8 tournaments. Nikule 10-10, kila tournament, how many tries are those? Those are like 8 huko. But of course, that's you're just speaking.
Yeah.
Coming from Dubai, nikaenda South Africa, I ended up scoring 2 tries in that tournament. Then you realize, as much as unasema, you think it's easy, it won't be easy.
Yeah.
So suddenly, 2 tournaments, hapo sijui number 2 kwa tries. I went to the other tournament, nikaingia top. The other one, nikaingia top. So nika realize, you don't even have to score 10 tries. You just need like 4 per tournament or 5. So for me, those were the mini goals. I just have to make sure at least kwa tournament, I'm scoring. I'm scoring. I'm chasing that being the end of the season tournament top try scorer. And it happened. I became the top try scorer in the tournament. And there's a media guy can uliza, so what do you want? Nikasema, I want to be the top try scorer in the world.
Were you just saying that? I'm all
Nilikuwa nasema, and he laughed. And even me, of course, you are doubting yourself because you are coming from Kenya. You think that you can't do it.
Yeah.
You're doubting yourself. Ndio unasema, but you're doubting. Because at that time, it was already set at 230 tries. So Gomez scorer was 230. That was the highest. So nikasema, at that time, nimemaliza na 42 tries. So niko na 42. Minus 230 hizo ni ngapi? You have to play for how many seasons? But gladly enough, season after season, I never became top again after a season. I was just somewhere there. Either number 3, top 5, hapo, number 2. So I used to linger to mahali hapo.
Yeah.
And I knew if I continue doing this, the main goal will come. And I kept doing it. Suddenly, kafika 9 years later, it happened in 2016? When I scored the try, and it was a special moment for me. I'll always see that moment as one of the very, very special moments, because now finally you get to this place that you've achieved the goal that you had set for yourself. But now once you do that, there's also another challenge. What next?
Yeah.
You've achieved it, so what next? I think that's when, for me, I decided my next step now is to make sure the younger guys are coming up properly, with proper structures for even them to, as much as I'm continuing to add into my tally, my next press is the mentorship of these young boys. And I got it at some point, and sometimes to some point I didn't kind of get it, and that's why I'm back in the club level to just make sure at least the young guys are starting to get the right structures and the right mental.
Sisemi mini prophet na hizi si stories za jaba, lakini naona ukiweka kozwendo maestro hapo. Sisemi mini prophet, but with your impressive career in rugby and the knowledge that you have, the international the international appreciation that people have for you. I see you managing the national team, the Shujaz, very soon. You've started off well kwa Mwamba, Mungu akijalia. And as you've said, it's not about focusing just on the goals, but the process to get into those goals. So at this, he's doing in a good way to sign and I think tumeongezea waiter wetu ametuletea.
Do you take yours with soda?
You tell me.
Let me show you the best.
Yes, Maji.
Kidogo tu to unlock the flavors.
Yes.
You take it neat.
This is
just a little bit to unlock the flavors.
I know Dennis Okari is regretting not coming on the show because you've missed out on this.
This is to him for missing out.
To him and to you, really, for the next phase that you are going into with what you have been doing over the years and what you have in store for the career, because it's still at your heart and you still have a lot to give. And I know the people, decision makers, have been watching and are listening. Call him. He'll have a lot to tell you. Ukipigiwa bro, nipigie.
Nikupigie. Lazima ni the newsroom, lazima the social newsroom. The
social newsroom. Yes, and we really appreciate the time that you've given us. And we also today we had 2 ladies who they saw it was you. They had to come see Town Hall, like wamekuja, Ida as well as Faith Ann. Back then they've sat through it all. We say cheers to you too. And cheers to the team, our waiter right here. And, and the team, Dushi, Sani, back behind there on the sound, as well as Doris. Kuna ndume moja fulani hapo sijui ni nani because ameblokiwa. Asanteni sana. Oh, that is Brian. Thank you so much. We have Brian on the team now, producing as well, so you'll be seeing a lot of magic going on the social newsroom. We say cheers. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a good night.
Thank you very much.
Na chapa bottoms up ama
Hapana.
Okay, gentlemen.
Responsible drinking.
Okay.
Ni test tu.
Ni vile sani machache.
Unajua tungeendelea hii story hata ingeisha saa hii.
Kabisa. Good night, guys. Hey, good one, Dan.
Thanks.
Thank you for
Sana.
bringing this on
Very
set.
well done. This is a good send off now.